All right, y'all. Welcome back to another episode of That's Fucked Up.
Yes.
We got legendary actor, comedian, Aries Spears in the house with us today.
What up?
We finally made this happen.
Yeah.
It took a minute.
My bad. I
think it's everybody. Every time you had it set, I couldn't do it. It went both ways.
Well, the first couple of times I fumbled the ball. But then, you took some of that responsibility.
I had some moments in there, too.
So we good now. We good.
Yeah, I love it.
That's okay. We had one podcast where we had a random guest that that we kept referring to that wasn't here, and that was one of the days.
Was it?
So we just shot a podcast.
We shot it.
Does the guest want to say something? And then there was nobody there. So now we can reveal. Now we can reveal to the world he's made it.
Yeah, for sure.
Oh shit! All right.
So, I like to start from the beginning. Kid like you, born in Chicago, moved out to the East Coast.
Right.
Started doing comedy at 14 years old. How was that? How did you get your start? What made you want to do comedy? But also, growing up in a household where your mom is a
Jazz and blues singer.
jazz musician, singer.
Yeah.
How was that?
Ever since I was a kid, man, like I kind of always knew I wanted to be in the limelight in some fashion. Didn't really know how I was going to go about it. My father was a big boxing fan, so kind of watching Muhammad Ali tapes and stuff like that. And 80s was my Tyson era. So, I kind of thought that I wanted to be a fighter, but that takes discipline. And
Did you try? Did you get in the ring?
I went to the local PAL in the neighborhood. But again, when you think about all the stuff that it takes to actually do that shit, the discipline between the workout regimen and the eating right. And, my mother's from Mississippi and my father's from Tennessee, so that eating right shit went out the motherfucking window. So, I thought that was going to be it. And then I kind of thought I wanted to be a rapper because me and my boy, one of my best friends was heavy into Kid and Play. So we kind of saw that house party and then thought, let's be that duo. But cool. I have too much respect for the game to know that I'm not a rapper. I can rap, but the shit that it takes for me to put pen to paper and come up with something fire is like 6 months. Where them dudes do it like that.
Now, do you have some old footage of you in this rap group?
Not at all.
Nothing recorded? Nothing recorded?
And that evidence would have been buried with Hufford. I'm sorry. So I was always funny, though. And my father was a huge movie guy. So he had a collection of, movies and classic movies, everything from Gone with the Wind to Uptown Saturday Night, Let's Do It Again, Car Wash, Miracle on 34th Street. So his collection was extremely vast, so I saw it all. And I took a liking to movies and entertainment and wanting to perform. That's kind of always been naturally in me. So, and getting in trouble in school for being funny, I was like, let me do the math on this.
Yeah.
And that was it.
So you said, let's do it again. Were you a fan of Cosby back in the day?
Yeah, Cosby, Sidney Poitier.
I love that movie.
Oh, listen,
Let's Do It Again is bananas.
Action, Let's Do It Again, Uptown Saturday Night. All three of those.
He, in
classics.
fact, loves Cosby so much.
Oh, God. Here we go.
At one of our last podcasts, he said he would throw his mom into a Cosby party.
What I said was
to drink the Kool-Aid. Whatever happens.
I said if my mom was crazy enough to go over there and hang out with Cosby, whatever happened. She was up for it. That's what I said. My mother, a grown woman. If she want to go over there and hang out with Cosby, she want to go over there and hang out with Cosby.
He's alluding to the fact that Quaaludes were a party drug back in the day.
Quaaludes
He was just like,
was a party drug, and it wasn't against the law. It wasn't against the law. I know this subject is frowned upon, and I try to stay away from it, but the only thing is my castmate here tend to bring it up every single show.
Well, Cosby loves Spanish bitches. And when I get with a Spanish woman, I make a special drink called the Pina Colada. I couldn't help it.
So
but to round it up, to tighten it up, I was born in 75, 80s baby. So Eddie Murphy on SNL was a ritual for me and my father to tune in every Saturday night. So I was a huge Eddie fan. And then when I saw Trading Places and coming at 48 Hours, that solidified.
That was it.
That was it. I said, I want to be that guy.
Now, you said you got kicked out of school or got in trouble. I know you say you got in trouble for comedy, but I also got kicked out of school. So I like to dig down deep and figure out, what'd you get kicked out of school for? When you were 17, right? You got kicked out?
Probably 16, 17, yeah. I just put all the attention where it wasn't supposed to be. You know, if the attention was supposed to be on the curriculum, I became the curriculum. You know what I mean? So, I was a cut up, man.
I got kicked out for a terroristic threat.
Well, you're right. So, that's believable.
You like a beard.
He's also just got recently arrested.
Recently? That was
within a year.
4 years ago. I just got off probation.
Okay, that's what it was.
You are one full leather trench coat away from shooting up a mall.
It was a
got my gun rights taken away.
You haven't even learned.
Well, because it was bullshit in high school, just like it was bullshit now.
A gun in the car.
What was the specific threat?
Oh,
I told her, me and this kid were talking shit, and we were in the lunch line, and I was like, bro, I'd kill you.
no.
Like talking in a fight.
No.
Oh, yeah,
You're talking about the recent.
Nothing.
No, we mean nothing. There's nothing. So he had a business partner. He doesn't want to go into it, but I'll go into it since he likes to talk about Cosby so much. So
what does me and Cosby got to do with anything?
No, but he had a disagreement in a business thing. So therefore, to solve this, he decided to show up and be outside the guy's house with a loaded gun.
No, hold on. See, that's how people tell stories. Let's revert it back to I always carried a loaded gun in my car at all times. Allegedly. In my glove box.
Right. But did you text him and threaten him?
I went to his house.
You text him and threatened him?
Got out of my car, had no gun, stood in front of this man's house and was like, just come out here and fight me. Not stupid enough to go on his property. I just waited for him at the mailbox.
Right.
He didn't come out. Proceeded to call the Beverly Hills Police Department that brought like 9 fucking cars. Told them that I had a gun. And
You had a gun.
They illegally searched my car and arrested me. Yeah. They said, can we search your vehicle? I said no. They said, we're going to do it anyways. Took my fucking keys out of my pocket.
Did they arrest you?
Yep.
Wow.
Spent a night in Beverly Hills jail. It was me, some crazy dude, but 5 minutes in, they were like, we got to get this guy the fuck out of here because he was like screaming and shit.
You told me it was the best time of your life.
Yeah, it was not bad. They left the door open. By the third time I asked to use the phone, they just fucking walk back and forth from the phone.
I'm wondering, is that because it was Beverly Hills Police Station, or that was because you was the right complexion for the station?
Probably both. And
I think he's lucky he's white.
No one else was in there. It was just me.
He's a white guy.
There was like
with niggerish tendencies.
There was
yeah, but he ain't getting niggerish results.
No, that's true. I can't deny that. I got open cell.
There you
walk
go.
to the phone. I mean, the walk was like from me to her, so it's not like, wasn't like I was gonna escape.
Okay.
I don't think he would have got them same that same courtesy.
They put me under the jail. Under the jail.
Yes, probably. So, anyways, kicked out of school, but your first TV appearance was the Russell Simmons Def Comedy Jam, right?
Yeah.
That was the very first one?
Young.
That's
big.
Yeah.
Big.
16, yeah.
How'd that go?
It's funny. I always tell people, people associate Russell Simmons with Def Jam, the brand, because, that's the first thing you hear is Russell Simmons Def Comedy Jam. But I always go, the real power and brainchild behind it was a brother named Bob Sumner out of New Jersey, who kind of gave me, Bill Bellamy, and a lot of other local cats I start at clubs like Terminal D in Newark, Club 88 in East Orange, the Peppermint Lounge in Newark. So we all came up through what was, back in the day would have been referred to as like the Chitlin Circuit. But that was our Chitlin Circuit. So, Bob Sumner was the man that kind of made all that happen. He put it all together. He brought it to Stan Latham and Russell, and then they put their name on it and put their power in it, and the rest is history.
Wow.
So you killed that then.
I did
Obviously,
all right.
you did all right.
I thought I did
watched
all
it.
right. Yeah,
I thought it was good.
Yeah, I mean, listen,
At that age, that was amazing.
I was 16.
That was amazing.
So, you know,
that was amazing.
Martin was always hosting, right? Like he was always.
Yeah, he hosted the first couple years, and then when he left, Joe Torre took over.
Yeah.
And then when the franchise was completely dead, and they revived it and brought it back to LA, they had celebrity hosts. So the second time I did it, Ed Lover was the host, and the third time I did it, Mike Epps was the host.
And Martin was the host when you
original,
did it when you were a kid, right?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. All right, so you made a lot of connections through there. Did you do that? Or you just went out there and you was like, okay, and you was like, all right, I still gotta work like a motherfucker.
I did my thing and you know, hope for the best and let the chips fall where they fell, and then just kept, you know, being on this journey grinding, man.
All right, then you hit the Apollo.
17,
Right?
yeah.
17.
Yeah.
Big
That's
show.
nice.
Yeah, I didn't do Showtime at the Apollo, so it wasn't like I had to come out, rub the log, and worried about getting booed. I mean, if I'd have stuck the joint up, I still would have probably got booed, but I came out as a guest because I had done Def Jam first. And then, you know, I crushed that morning. I did Def Jam.
So
Okay.
Apollo was better than. Was
Yeah.
there more people at
Yeah.
Apollo? Like it's a bigger venue.
Yeah, a little bit bigger.
What
But
were you more
the-
nervous for?
It's Apollo, because I didn't want to get booed. You know,
And you from New York.
New York, yeah.
So
yeah.
that's your whole
Yeah,
that's
you know,
everything. That's your hood.
New York is a different type of beast, man. Like it's like they don't give a fuck about you being a child. They'll crush your dreams. if you got like 5 seconds, nigga. And if you ain't bringing it, they'll crush your dreams, man.
Oh, yeah.
Were you doing voices and like all that from the start?
Mainly, yeah, because that kind of was like my go-to until I was able to, I think, be mature enough and have enough life experience to develop material. You know, so, you know, I mean, how much living have you done at 16, 17?
How do you even get to the point where you can? Because I mean, I've seen the voices, and Shaq said you are absolutely the best at doing Shaq.
Yeah.
But I've heard Jay-Z, I've heard several people that you do. I think that shit is fucking amazing. How do you get to? How, as a young kid, how do you be like, nah, I'm a master, all their tendencies, all their expressions, and do that? Because you don't see that often.
Yeah, I think that's a combination of a couple things. Like I said, growing up, I was a latchkey kid. My mother, a single parent, until my mother and father eventually got married. Single parent household, New York. My mother worked 2 jobs. So me and my sister had to come home, kind of tend to ourselves until she got home. So I spent a lot of time in front of TV. But at the very beginning, you first have to have the ability. You know, you watch all the TV you want. It's a God-given gift.
So it's not something that anybody can just sit there and do.
No,
you got to be able to mess with your voice like that.
Yeah, you. It's a special type of gift you have, and you know, I think the other thing too is because my mother is a singer. I too, like I don't, again, I wouldn't claim to be a singer, but I can sing.
But you got to know the truth.
So when you hear inflection, tone, rhythm, nuances, inflections, all of that is, I always say doing impressions is like hitting notes. Everybody's voice is a note. And when you can lock into that note and that key, there you have it. Like Shaq is bassy, breathy.
Right.
As long as I score 28-10, I'm going to dominate. You say 28-10, I'm going to dominate.
But how you get the eyes? Like right now,
Well,
that shit is crazy.
Yeah,
to me.
no,
I'll be
that's
like,
just a
you
little-
got the eyes.
That's just a
it's
little
like your
nuance.
whole face changes into their face.
That's kind of what I took from Eddie Murphy. You know, when you would watch him on SNL and he would do James Brown and Stevie Wonder and Cosby, he became him.
Right.
You know, it wasn't just the voice; he became him. So
That's
I was
true.
like, man, if you're gonna really do it in terms of mimicry, you gotta get it all. And Eddie was a master at that.
Right.
So watching Eddie for so long growing up, and I wanted to be him so bad that I was like, dude, you got to get it all, man.
Have you had the opportunity to meet Eddie since you are in LA?
Yeah, man, I bumped into Eddie a couple times. The very first time I ran into Eddie, I don't know how long you've been in LA.
Ever.
Forever. Okay, then you might remember Roxbury's.
Okay.
It used to be
On Sunset?
Roxbury on Sunset.
Right.
And back then, that's when I first came to LA, and that was like the hangout spot for celebrities. And I remember I was there one night, and I'm chilling up in the upstairs area, and in comes, and I've known Fruity, Eddie's then bodyguard, for a minute. I saw Fruity, and of course, Eddie was 2 steps behind him. So I was like, yo, I ran up and I was like, yo, Mr. Murphy, I just want to tell you blah, 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 blah.
Right.
And I probably got about 8 words in, and he leaned back and he was like, "You niggas on Def Comedy Jam doing impressions and shit. I seen you, you motherfucker. You getting chunky, you better stop." Yeah, so, and that fucked my head up. Then I remember the second time I was doing my show at the time for CBS South of Sunset, our action cop drama. And my stunt double was his stunt double on Beverly Hills Cop 3.
That's cool.
So he was like, yo, after we shoot, I got to go to set and do Cop 3. You want to hang out? I'm like, hell yeah. So I go to the studio. Eddie's got this fucking luxurious bus with this tent over it.
Right.
So I'm sitting there, Fruity's there, somebody else, I forget his other bodyguard's name. Eddie comes out strumming his guitar, and he's sitting down and just being casual. And again, I'm fucking nervous and scared. So at one point, he started having a conversation about something, and I kept trying to chime in, being funny,
right,
but trying to make it seem organic to the moment.
Right.
Now, this is like, you a young dude at Venice Beach playing pickup ball, and come Jordan, you want to show your best moves. But Eddie caught that shit so quick, and he was like, man, look, man, you doing material, all right? If you want to hang out, chill. But you doing material. And my shit, I did the Pac-Man noise. Ooh, ooh, ooh. I was deflated. And then the last time I met Eddie.
Damn.
Yeah, sound like Dave Chappelle.
Yeah.
The last time I met Eddie, I was at the Laugh Factory Chocolate Sundays. Pookie Winnington, whose room that is, me and Dean Edwards are sitting back there. And, you know, he about to go up, I'm about to go. We don't know who going up next. Pookie comes in and goes, yo, Eddie's in the balcony. I can only let one of y'all up now. Who's it going to be? And, of course, me and Dean looking at each other with the Clint Eastwood, good, the bad, the ugly music. Ooh. Like, nigga, what's up? So we flipped for it. I won. I got up. And I'm telling you, man, now this is the first time I'm really first time I met it was just me being a fan.
Right.
Second time I hung out, played myself. This time I'm going to perform.
Right.
Now I'm going to show Jordan my crossover and my,
yeah.
You know what I mean? But again, I was so fucking nervous. I think I let the moment get to me. And here's what's funny about Eddie. We all know the movie laugh.
Right.
His real laugh is, that's how he really laughs. So I'm on stage, and I did a couple things, and I'm trying not to look up, but I'm looking up, and I hear a couple. So then afterwards, I call Uncle Ray, who I've known a long time. Yo, what did Eddie think? And he goes, we were in the limo, and Eddie says to me, I think I make these young motherfuckers nervous, because that dude is funnier than that. But I think he was nervous, and I got to him, because I've seen him on MadTV. The dude is hilarious, but I could tell he was nervous. So, you know, yeah, man. Eddie's my Michael Jordan
I love
comedy.
it. He my Michael Jordan, too.
Yeah,
Eddie
man.
Murphy was the shit. Only thing that took me, like, made me feel weird about Eddie, just for me, just as a man. That whole thing when they say he was picking up people, that threw me for a loop, because, like you said, that was your Michael Jordan. That was my Michael Jordan. So after that, I was like, do I still like Michael Jordan?
That was Eddie's version of gambling.
He was definitely gambling. When I heard that, I was like, what we doing? Eddie, I fuck with you. Like, that one threw me for a loop.
What's wrong with what he did, you know? He gambled.
Listen, you haven't declared your sexuality on the show yet. That's what's wrong.
It's hilarious.
Oh, no, we let everybody have it here. This is a free place. It's a safe place for people.
I'm just saying.
He hasn't declared it, but his wardrobe has.
Shit. Damn.
Yeah, take that.
Yeah, I'll take it. I'll take it.
So
There you
speaking
go.
of, you called Eddie or Michael Jordan. So would that imply that you think Michael Jordan is the best basketball player of all time?
Absolutely.
Oh, God.
Absolutely.
We had Ryan Davis on the show.
I saw a clip of that.
Yeah, we had Ryan Davis on the show, and him and Ryan. First of all, Michael Jordan is the best by far in my mind. Also,
I'm just
Let's not say that.
I'm just
Listen,
gonna
have
say-
his sneaks on.
I'm just gonna say Ryan. They let Ryan talked for so long, and there was
Listen,
probably
he
maybe
made
a
some
minute
great
and a half,
points. Now, the
but
one-
that was too long for us to act like he wasn't saying ridiculous.
But no.
LeBron
The one thing that listen, Ryan is a logical guy.
Very smart.
And he's very smart, and it came from a smart perspective. He said the only issue, and this was different. This will kind of put me in a weird space. He said the starting two guards when Michael Jordan was playing was Craig Elo, Danny Ainge, and Dan Marley. He was like, these are legitimate stars. We gotta have you
Let me dead that argument right now.
Okay, let's go.
When he won his championships, it wasn't him versus Craig Elo and Dan Marley and whoever else. It was the Bulls versus the team.
Right.
And the other teams had Hall of Famers and All-Stars.
That's true.
All right? The Bulls had to get past Patrick Ewing, Reggie Miller, Charles Barkley, Gary Payton, Karl Malone, Stockton Malone. Last time I checked, they're Hall of Famers. They're all-stars.
Right.
Is it not a team game? We can't pick that narrative when it does and doesn't work for us.
Right.
So if it's a team game,
Right.
it's about the Bulls versus the team, not Jordan versus the two guard.
So what are your thoughts about LeBron?
I think he's definitely in the top three. Matter of fact, my order is Michael, Kobe, LeBron.
Right.
And people, and because I say what I say, people think I hate LeBron. I don't hate LeBron. I hate the idea that they try to say he's better than Mike, because he's not.
That's
He's just not.
You know what I hate? I hate the idea if all three of them are standing there, the look on the other two's face if I choose LeBron James.
But
Like if all three of them, Kobe,
Right.
Mike, and LeBron are sitting there, I just think like, you just die. They're going to kill you. They're going to come at. If you choose LeBron over them, you're dead.
Listen, I still, to a large degree, say I don't understand how LeBron got ahead of Kobe.
Yeah. He had
I
5
don't.
championships.
I don't.
And he went to 7 finals.
And there's a couple of points that
There you
people
go.
make that really annoy the shit out of me. And I go, God damn, it's like I feel like a parent that has to cut up their children's meat so they can eat. Like, why should I have to explain to you what should be obvious that you don't understand? The argument of, well, Mike didn't win shit without Scotty. Well, Scotty didn't win shit without Mike.
There you go.
It's no superstar has ever won without another superstar. A la Kareem Magic, Jordan Pippen, Kobe Shaq. That's you need a 1-2 punch.
Dirk.
So that's a moot point.
Dirk.
Oh, he thinks Dirk won without another superstar.
Dirk and
JJ
Barea. JJ Barea.
Sean Marion, Jason Kidd. There weren't no superstars on that team.
I think those were great role players.
Yes. A 1-2 superstar.
Is Jason Williams not a Hall of Famer, All-Star?
Superstar.
Is Sean Marion superstar? He's in the Hall of Fame. He's in the Hall of Fame.
Jason Williams?
Not Jason Kidd. He meant Jason Kidd.
Oh, okay. Jason Kidd. Yeah.
Now I know Sean Marion might not be in the Hall of Fame, but he's an All-Star.
That was like Cleveland. Jason Kidd was like Cleveland Shaq.
Don't do that.
Come on, man. He was old,
Don't do
man.
that. He didn't do it by himself.
He did.
Dirk didn't do it by himself.
No, Dirk definitely didn't do it by himself.
No, but like he didn't have another superstar.
And when you looked at The Last Dance, even Scottie Pippen, to his own admission, went, listen, I didn't have that alpha dog in me until Mike took me under the wing.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
That's for
Mike
sure.
helped develop me to become the alpha dog.
100%.
Mike was always the alpha
dog.
dog.
Yeah, let's be honest. Let's talk about if Scotty was every day guarding Greg Elo in practice and he didn't get drafted to the fucking Bulls and have to guard Michael Jordan every single day. Would he even be Scottie Pippen?
No, he wouldn't have been Scottie Pippen.
I mean, Scotty obviously is a top 50 player,
Because
Hall
he
of
had to
Fame,
guard Mike
All-Star.
every day.
Okay, well, there you go. And then the second point that people make that I hate is when they go, well, if it's about rings,
Right.
Robert Horry's the greatest. He's got 7. And I always tell people, listen, there's a difference between being the reason you win and winning for a reason. Michael Jordan, Bird, Magic, Kobe, Shaq,
reason.
Hakeem, they're the reasons. They're the franchise. You still need role players. Yes, you do. But Robert Horry, right place, right time.
All day.
He wasn't the reason. He won for a reason. That's a difference.
Right.
Hakeem, David Robinson, Shaq, Kobe. He ain't a franchise guy. He's a role player that happened to be at the right places at the right time. Well, then it's about Bill Russell. 11. Bill Russell played in an era where only 3 niggas was allowed to play.
But it was also
and he was
like
a man
11
amongst
teams.
the midgets. And 11
It
teams.
was like 11
and a
teams.
shortened season.
Right.
So there's an asterisk near that. No disrespect to the great Bill Russell.
Right.
But come on, man. The gumbo recipe wasn't the same.
I have a question. Why is Kobe Bryant ahead of Tim Duncan? Tim Duncan had more MVPs, same championships.
You know what? I mean, go on. I'll let you.
No,
the only thing I would say, I think, is personality. And I think when you have a Kobe, Michael Jordan personality, you just go out there and you're literally taking these championships. I don't know if we could say the same thing for Tim Duncan. I don't know. I think it's all personality.
I think personality does play a role.
Right.
Because at the end of the day, no matter how great you are on that court, but in front of that camera adds to it.
Right.
And, Tim Duncan, just that Bahamian nigga that, don't say much, man.
Right.
Walks around, no shoes and socks, and just quiet. That don't sell.
Right. Did you play basketball?
Not at all.
You didn't play any? Because you seem extremely knowledgeable.
Terrible. Listen, I never caught on. I didn't catch on to basketball until the Jordan era.
Okay.
And then I became a fan.
Right.
But as far as the game playing,
right.
Oh, I'm terrible, man. I'm an embarrassment to my race.
My thing about Jordan is it's not about, I don't care what anybody says about, you can throw all the statistics out in the world about any players. If you have seen Michael Jordan play a basketball game and you've seen Kobe and you've seen LeBron, there's a different way that they take over the game.
It's an attack mode.
Like Michael Jordan is like, the Bulls would have like 40 points and Jordan would have like 26. Like he would, and his defense and like, I don't know. It's just they played harder for one. Like I don't know.
Listen, I don't know
Jordan,
how.
I don't have to argue with you because you and Jordan.
I don't know how people just diminish like it's no big deal, and people like to go, well, y'all act like he only played 6 years. No, only an idiot would acknowledge that.
Right. Yeah.
We know there's a learning curve. No player except Magic has come into the league and won immediately.
Right.
Everybody has a learning curve. Yeah. So yes, he had to go through the Pistons. He had to lose before he could win. But once he won,
Jordan
there
was
no
still
looking back.
pissing on those teams by himself in those years.
He didn't have
He was still dropping 60 on Birds.
But what he's
Celtics
saying is he figured out how to win, and when he figured out how to
nobody
win,
else ate on his watch.
He kept winning.
6 MVPs in the finals, six champions, never a game 7 in the finals.
Yep.
Yeah.
Like he was just dominant.
Yeah.
Dominant.
He figured it out. He definitely figured it out.
And I hate when people go, LeBron played in a tougher era. Well, first of all, we all know that the defense was tougher back in the 80s and 90s. And every NBA player has always said professional, if the rules were then what they are now, Jordan would average 60.
Easy.
You know what I'm saying?
No hand checking?
They called LeBron when he was running through with Cleveland and Miami, they called the Eastern Conference the Leastern Conference because it was at its weakest. Yeah. Michael played when it was at its strongest.
Right.
So it's like tougher defense. The motherfuckers didn't do rest management.
I also think no one talks about the only reason half of these records get broken or the longevity or the people are doing what they're doing with the athletic ability is because of the training that's available now as well.
Yeah.
Like imagine the trainers and the weightlifting.
But listen, when I hear
all that shit back then.
Listen, when I hear all that, today's athletes, bigger, stronger, faster. Yeah, but you niggas do rest management. Y'all team up like the Avengers.
Jordan played 82.
82 games, no teaming up. It's like these players today are like cars today, fiberglass. Whereas the people in the 80s and 90s, you could get in the crash and live. Because you were surrounded by straight metal and steel. No. This bullshit today, you sneeze on these niggas, they need a break. And then when they win the championship, gotta wear goggles because they can't take champagne skeet to the face.
The new rule. How do you feel about the new rule in the NBA as far as rest management goes? And what's my guy from the Clippers? I wonder how he's going to deal with that.
Kawhi Leonard?
Kawhi.
I agree with Stephen A. Smith when he said, with all due respect, Kawhi Leonard is the worst superstar in the NBA. This dude has all the tools, the ability, but this nigga stay hurt.
Yep. I went to the game. He gave me some Clippers tickets once. Went to the game where it was like the highest scoring game in NBA history between the Clippers and Sacramento.
I gave you those tickets.
I know. I went there. That fool didn't miss nothing, and he was doing it with just ease, like from all over.
His help was like his laugh, broken. That's terrible. That's his health.
He does seem uninspired.
Do you still enjoy watching the NBA today?
I do, but not like I used to. My most exciting time, obviously, was the Jordan era. And then when Jordan retired, because Shaq was my guy, and when he went to Miami, I thought that was interesting. And then I fell in love with Dwayne Wade. So I started, really being into the Heat. And then, of course, Shaq leaves. I'm still a Wade fan. And I've never really been a Bron fan, but when Bron teamed up with Dwayne Wade and Bosh, I loved it then too, because again, I got to see Dwayne Wade and I got to appreciate LeBron a little bit more. But since then, I'm spotty. I might check out a game or two, but not like I used to.
You know why? Because it's become like baseball. You don't watch the regular season.
Yeah.
You just tune in for the playoffs because they're not going to give you. You used to be able to watch good games. Yeah, you used to be able to watch good games during the season.
Right.
You get a good battle. Now it's like, who knows who's playing?
I think it's the championship and bust type of mentality that they put out, so the players are not trying in that hard anymore. Like, let's save it for the playoffs.
Yeah, kind of.
Yeah, and let me just put a little ending on this Jordan-LeBron debate. Because, I hate when people diminish 6-0 versus, what is LeBron, 4-6?
4 and 6.
4 and 6.
Yeah, I think he went 10 times, right?
He's like 10 or 11.
So
But he's lost 6. 4 and 6, 6 and 0.
Okay, so and I go, listen, man, as a dude, would you rather have a big dick that works sometimes, 4 and 6, or an average dick that works all the time, 6 and 0? Choose wisely.
Oh, shit. All right, man. Well, to be honest with you, you came out here in 92, started doing some movies then, right? You worked with a lot of big people.
A few.
One of the movies I grew up watching, you were in, The Pest, which not a lot of people. I
don't even know that one.
I fucking love The Pest.
I don't even know that one.
It's such a weird movie.
Cult classic with Latinos
Bro, that shit is
and stoners.
hilarious. Well, there you go.
Yeah.
That shit's hilarious. Like, John Leguizamo has to fucking...
Leguizamo. He said Leguizamo.
Sorry.
Leguizamo.
He doesn't like Latino.
All right.
Why you say that?
He's lying like a motherfucker.
Oh, he doesn't like Latinos.
I called him Spanish one time and they got crazy.
Oh, no, the
on
internet
me.
hates him.
Hates him?
They don't hate me.
They go after him.
Oh, wow.
I think AD has a lot worse comments than I do out there. But the point is, what the fuck we're talking about?
No, I'm talking about the movie.
The Pest.
Yeah.
So
I never seen The Pest.
Leguizamo,
Yes.
he gets kidnapped and put on this island and chased around by this crazy dude basically trying to hunt a human. But he's in it with these big ass fucking speakers and this crazy car and he's like John Leguizamo's
Best friend, like one of his best friends.
In the movie. Yeah. This shit was fucking hilarious. That's when I got first introduced to you.
I don't know how hilarious it was.
The Pest was great.
It was. I guess
For its time,
Well, you
had to be there. The
Did
Pest
you
was
like it
great.
because they smoke weed throughout the movie?
They don't smoke weed throughout the movie.
thought you
I
said it was
smoked
a
weed
stoner
throughout the
one.
movie.
Oh, okay. There you go. Now it making more sense.
I smoked weed throughout the movie.
It was
but
probably
besides
better
that
for
one,
you.
You've worked with Denzel. You've worked with.
I've never really worked with Denzel. I was an extra in a flick, but
In Malcolm
so that
X?
Yeah, so
When
that
you were
don't really
16?
count.
I mean,
Younger
you worked.
than that.
You were on it.
But that's not working.
I also worked with. What the fuck is his name from National Lampoons? I was an extra when I first moved out
Chevy
here.
Chase?
Yeah,
Oh,
I was
wow.
in Community a few times.
Oh, the Community TV show?
The TV show.
Oh, okay. I thought you was going
doing
way
my-
back.
No,
Right.
doing my walkthroughs and shit
Right,
when I
right.
first moved out here.
Well, one of my favorite movies that you did was Jerry Maguire.
Yeah.
I love that fucking movie. And your role as a hater was fucking hilarious.
Yeah, depending on who you talk to, that role has never been not played by me.
How was that with working with who's
Tom Cruise.
Tom Cruise,
yeah.
Cuba Gooding
A fucking
Jr.
legend.
Yeah,
Yeah,
man.
there's a bunch of
That's what I
legends
was
in
gonna
there.
say.
I didn't really get to personally, like I wish I had the one scene that we were in that was really just me there. Is when Cuba signs the big deal and he's on the Roy Firestone show. And of course, everybody's going crazy.
Right.
He's, Katie, I love you, my brother. You're militant. I love you.
Right.
I had improv some shit. And when the director yelled, cut Cameron Crowe, fucking Renee, I had everybody on the floor. Renee Zellweger came over, grabbed my face, kissed me on the cheek. Tom came and slapped my hand. And of course, they didn't use it. So it's folklore.
Yeah, it's got to be out there, though.
Yeah, but they didn't use it. But yeah, I wish I'd had a moment on camera with Tom, but I never had that. But still, I mean, to be in a movie of that caliber with that budget, and Tom, who definitely at that point was truly one of the top A-list, if not the A-list star.
Right.
And then Cuba Gooding Jr., Renee Zellweger. It was a big deal, man.
How many callbacks did you have to go?
Well, here's the funny
that?
thing. No, what happened was when I originally auditioned, I auditioned for Cuba's part.
Oh, okay.
And Cameron loved what I did so much that he told me, he was like, look, man, this part is too big for an unknown, so I can't give you this, but I'll give you the brother.
There you
So
go.
then I just went to the table read as the brother. Now, here's what's funny about Hollywood, though, and this is where it's bittersweet because you want to get upset, but you got to bite your tongue.
Right.
Oh, you go look at that Roy Firestein or Stone, right? I think it's Stone. Steen.
Yeah, Stone.
Yeah, Stone moment. And once Cuba learns he gets the deal, he goes off on this tangent. My brother, you militant. I love you, Katie, my baby. Yeah.
Right.
That was all my dialogue. When I auditioned for the movie,
They rewrote it?
I did that scene. I made all that up on top. They put me on camera. I love you, my brother. That was all off the dome.
I know he was. That's my shit.
Exactly.
That's my shit.
So Cameron, that's when he goes, I love what you did. Yeah, nigga, you did. You put it in the movie and gave it to Cuba, but at least you gave me something.
Right.
It's like he fucked me, but he wore rubber.
Is there any other movies that you tried out for that you wish you would have got? Like, that's the one that got away.
I remember, I forget who was interviewing me. I think my man Bill Bellamy. And I said, my career has always felt like a lot of all shucks moments. Like things that if it went that way, it'd be different. But they didn't. But it ain't a horrible thing that it didn't go that way. But it ain't that. Like I auditioned for, and got the role. The movie, I don't know if you remember the movie Junior with Arnold Schwarzenegger, Danny DeVito. It's where he gets pregnant.
Oh, okay.
And it was directed by Ivan Reitman, who, of course, was a big 80s time going into the 90s comedy director before he passed. And I got the part, but I couldn't do it because I was locked in a deal with Aaron Spelling, who, of course, is Beverly Hills 90210, Melrose Place, to do a pilot that I was doing. So Aaron wouldn't let me out to do the movie.
That's fucked up.
This is what I'm saying. Oh, shucks. Like if I had done the movie with that Schwarzenegger, DeVito, Ivan Reitman.
Propels you right up into Hollywood.
But I'm stuck in this situation that ain't the worst situation, but it ain't the best situation.
And he didn't even get that show off that you did.
We shot a pilot,
oh, okay.
but Fox never picked it up.
Okay.
But we shot the pilot.
Okay.
What the hell was it?
It was called Crosstown Traffic. It was basically the Mod Squad in LA. So it was me, some pretty white chick, some white dude, and we were cops.
Right.
Yeah. So.
Okay.
Before we leave your movies, there's another cult classic that I, for some reason, watched like 5 to 10 times. Do you have any stories of Snoop Dogg, Hood of Horse? Because your segment is my favorite.
Thank you. Again, all shucks moment. I look at sometimes I go, I'll see Snoop in this movie, and I go, all the movies came out. They hit the theaters. The one time I do a movie with this nigga, it don't come out. So I'm thinking sometimes I be thinking nigga, I think I'm cursed, yo. Because it was like, okay, Danny Trejo was in that. For, I'm sure the Latin community, Danny Trejo, big character actor, kind of always plays that tough Mexican. Ernie Hudson was in it, one of the fourth members of Ghostbusters. He had been in some respectable, notable movies.
George Costanza.
See, that might be the... No. I don't know if that's a good thing. But nonetheless, I just went, damn, dude, I I've seen Snoop in so many movies in theaters, but I'm in the one movie that doesn't hit the theater. So it's just.
Well, Alejandro loved it. Alejandro
I'm still stuck on the open sweater.
Everyone's stuck. We just sometimes he wears a wig.
Usually he comes out, he wore a dog mask.
Yeah, dog.
Motherfucker be
He's
wild.
a weird guy. He's a weird guy.
Okay.
We don't even know if this is real outfit.
Yeah.
Is this as normal as it gets?
Yeah, probably
Yeah.
so. Yeah.
What's wrong with a nice cardigan? You know, like you wear a plain
Bill
white
Cosby
shirt.
would be proud.
Exactly.
Damn. Now, something I grew up on, and I always felt like everybody else liked Saturday Night Live better, but I watched more MadTV than
That
I
shit was
watched
fucking
Saturday Night
hilarious.
Live growing
Another
up.
all shucks moment.
That's all shucks. You're like the
See,
longest
now-
cast member.
But
You
I got
played the most
questions about that though.
episodes.
But nobody. So here's my biggest question. Everybody blows up from Saturday Night Live, gets shows, all that shit. Why did nobody? Because MadTV was funny as fuck.
Yeah, for sure.
That shit was funny.
You know, the network, Fox, never got behind us the way they should have. Like, for instance, we would come on from 11 to 12, and then SNL would come on from 11:30 to 1. Mm-hmm. But, you know, prior to SNL, Monday through Friday, you saw promos on NBC during some of the most popular shows. Yo, so-and-so is hosting musical guests.
Right.
You saw promos leading up. Fox never showed any promos. The only lead-in we would get is when the 10:30 news was wrapping up at 11, and they'd go, all right, blah, 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 and coming up next, MadTV. And that was it. And we had everybody from Gwen Stefani on, Missy Elliott, Wu-Tang, Usher, Susan Sarandon. We had some of the DMX. We had some of the biggest names in music, and you don't support that? There's no better lead-in. There's no add up to that moment. So between that and it's like, listen, man. Saturday Night Live made movies off of a lot of their characters.
Right.
And then there were some characters that should have never been made a movie, like that Pat character. You didn't know if it was a man, you didn't know it was a woman. But the point is, it got made. Yeah. And then here we are with two of our most popular characters ever. Alex Bornstein, who did Mrs. Swan. Yeah. Michael McDonald, who did the Big Stewart character. The little man baby. You mean tell me if Pat can get made, no one's trying to make... I don't know. I just don't know what the machine was doing over there. Yeah. And then when you go, look at all the stars that blew up from SNL. And we could go through a gamut of them.
Absolutely.
But I'm just going, you know, when the show came out for the first 2 years, it hadn't really defined itself yet. It was funny as hell, had a great cast, but it really hadn't defined itself. I think from season 3, when Will Sasso, myself, joined, we were really starting to become something. And then by season 4, now when you throw in Mike McDonald, Mo Collins, again, you got me, Will, Deborah, I think we were like the 96 Bulls. Like we were just firing. And listen, no disrespect at all to Key and Peele, but when they got on, the show wasn't at its climax the way it was when we were there. But nonetheless, they got on, and Keegan was always a phenom with sketch. He was just a powerhouse. And this is why I say, even when I was talking shit about Jordan Peele, what killed me was I didn't see then on the show what Jordan became, because comedically, he just wasn't bringing it like that with characters and humor. Now, maybe his true talent was as a director. Writing the horror genre, because certainly look what he did with Get Out with the Oscar and what it did financially at the box office. But I'm telling you, and I know this is where people have labeled me a hater, but I'm telling you, I was there. I worked with him when he was on Mad. Jordan was kind of quiet, didn't say much. There's no way if you would have asked me right at that moment, do you see this dude with an Oscar, one of the top directors in the game, killing the horror genre, a movie that blows up at the box. No! He just wasn't that guy. Now, Keegan, but to my point, I'm just going, to the people that made the show what it was, at the heartbeat of it, at the apex of its popularity, nobody really went on to do anything else.
Yeah.
But then here come two guys who come in with kind of on the downside of things, and then Key and Peele. And then the rest is history.
That shit, that's
shucks.
crazy.
Yeah.
You know, and listen, again, hats off to them. Nothing but love. I know people that hear me say this and be all, see, Aries is a hater. I'm not hating. I'm telling you the truth.
Yeah.
I'm telling you what it was. And, you know, they deserve all the success they get. But this is what drives you crazy about this business. The timing, the luck of the draw, circumstances. You just don't know.
Was there ever a time where when you were on Mad TV that Saturday Night Live was like, we need to have him on our show. We need to bring him over. Or even when it ended, did they reach out to you? Because you're literally probably the best person or top 2 on Mad TV, killing it. You were in the most episodes.
I think there was a certain point where Lorne Michaels had changed his mind, but he had a strong stance in the beginning that anybody from any other sketch show can't fuck with it. So if you've been on a sketch show, if you're on a sketch show, you can't come here.
There you go.
But then I think later he changed his.
Yeah, okay.
And again, and again, I'm growing up watching Eddie Murphy.
Right.
A hardcore fan. And again, that's what made me start at 14, because I knew that I read he started at 14. And he started at 14. And he blew up. He got on SNL at 19. And then at 2, maybe 3 years, he does 48 Hours, Trading Places. The rest is history.
Right.
I said, I want that path. I'm going to do that. I'm going to get on MadTV. I'm going to do a couple years. I'm going to be a movie star. And then God said, nah, nigga, watch this.
Why'd you choose MadTV? Why didn't you go try out for Saturday?
It just happened that way. MadTV came knocking before SNL did. So, you know, and believe me, I was like, and my manager back then was Norm Nixon. Played with the Lakers.
Oh, for real? That was your manager?
Yeah. Norm, when I first came to LA, Norm was my guy.
I know Norm and I know his son.
Yeah, Devon.
Yeah.
Not Devon, but Thumpany.
He has another one, yeah.
Norm Jr.
because he's a comedian now.
Yeah.
He's a comedian now.
So I remember I would complain to Norm my first 2 years, like, Norm, I'm on the show. I'm killing it. I feel like I'm not getting recognized. I feel like I'm wasting my time. And Norm would always tell me, never underestimate the power of television. Just hold on.
Right.
And then by my 3rd season, I couldn't walk down the street. But still, it ain't SNL. Yeah. And I'm not trying to sound ungrateful, but listen, there's a difference between the CBA and the NBA.
Yeah, there you go.
You know what I mean? And I felt like had I been on SNL doing some of the things that I was doing, oh, forget about it.
It was over with.
It's over.
Was there like beef? Like, were you ever in a club and you was like killing it, and then like some Saturday Night Live guys came in and you was like, man, fuck!
As a matter of fact, extremely the opposite. I remember when I was living in LA, there was this car wash, used to be up the street from the Beverly Center. I go get my car wash. And one time I put my car in, I'm walking to the waiting area, I look over and there's Will Ferrell. And I never met him, you know, but I tapped him and said, excuse me, Mr. Ferrell, I just want to tell you. Yeah, he stopped me. He said, you guys are phenomenal, man. You guys come on a half hour before we do. So a lot of times when we're in the makeup chair getting ready, we're watching you. He goes, you guys are fucking phenomenal. Yeah. So that to me was like, oh, okay, that was a huge thing. So to the opposite though.
Yeah.
The one thing I would say, every comedian that we interview and I ever see, you guys are fucking smart as hell.
Some of us.
No, well, I don't know a lot, but what I notice is that, like, you guys are extremely intelligent. You guys are extremely aware.
Yeah.
Is that just one of the characteristics that you need to be a comedian?
I think so. That and fearlessness.
Speak well.
Yeah.
I don't know. It just seems that way.
I think mentally, to be a great comedian, you got to be quicker than most mentally. Because especially when you're on that stage and a moment happens where someone says something, you have to be able to, you know what I mean, handle that.
Right.
So, yeah, man. I tell people like this too. I use this football analogy. Like when I first started stand-up, I was so scared of doing crowd work. I just want to stick to my script, stick to my material. But then, you learn from watching the greats, and two of the greatest crowd workers were Joe Torre and D.L. Hewley. Them motherfuckers Ginsu knife your ass up in a heartbeat.
Right.
And I'm gonna tell you something funny Joe once said, but I said to myself, and again, if you like Michael Jordan or an Eddie Murphy, you know that what makes them great is there's not one facet to their game. They can do everything.
Right.
And I went, how you call yourself a great comedian and not be able to do crowd work?
There you go.
So I started dipping my toes in them waters, and the more and more comfortable I got, and I don't want to be braggadocious, but
it's a part of your
I'm nice
show
with
now.
that crowd work shit.
No, it's part of your show now.
I'm saying that to say, listen, can you be a Hall of Famer, championship quarterback who just stays in the pocket, a la stick to your material?
Right.
Yes, you can. But if you can Michael Vick it and do material in the pocket, but do crowd work on the scramble,
right,
it just makes you that much more deadlier. So that to me was something that I wanted to add to my arsenal, and I'm still trying to improve and get better and better. But I'm like, how do you call yourself an assassin and you can't mentally move when you need to move?
Right.
You know what I'm saying? That's just a sharp tool you should have in your arsenal. Now, here's Joe Torre. Like, I remember I was watching something, and I think Joe had talked about somebody's mother. He said, something your mama. And the dude got mad and got serious and said, hey, man, don't talk about my mother. My mother's dead. Joe took maybe a half a pregnant pause. And when I don't give a fuck, I'll dig the dead bitch up and talk about it to her face. that right there is almost a nigga, you about to get shot. I got one thing I do that I call the nuclear button. And I would never say it unless I had to say it.
Right.
And I call it the nuclear button because when you say something like this,
crossing the line.
Not only think you cross the line, but you might have to prepare for a fight. Nigga might be trying to fight you. But here's the thing: when the crowd knows that person deserves it, based on the moment, no, there is no crossing the line because the crowd is feeling how you feel, which is, nigga, you deserve that.
Yeah.
You brought that on yourself. Now, if you just say some shit like that to say it, then you come off mean and bully.
Right.
But if the moment is proper, they're with you. I remember I was in Tampa, Florida, and this black dude was with his white chick. And I mean, she was just so drunk and disrespectful. And I'm, as a black man, cold, I'm looking at you like black
grab
man.
her.
You know what I mean? Yeah. And he ain't doing shit. So finally I got fed up and I said, hey, control your bitch, nigga. Bitch, nigga. Now, one, you called this woman a bitch. So there's already him with the pressure of, I got to defend her honor.
Right.
But then to double down on that, you call him a bitch.
Right.
Yo, control your bitch, nigga.
Right.
Bitch, nigga. That's the nuclear button.
How did it go? How did that turn out?
Thank God security was there. But he had to be escorted out.
Have you been in a situation where you were like they literally start running towards the stage?
Oh, dude, of all places, who'd have thought Canada?
Oh, wow.
But I had a white bitch throw a pitcher of beer at me in Canada. Had another white chick in Canada try to rush the stage, and a man stopped her. Had a white dude in Sacramento try to rush the stage. Had a dude in Columbia, South Carolina try to rush the stage. I had a black girl hit me with a Heinz ketchup bottle in the face. In Hartford, Connecticut. Because she wasn't laughing, and she was like kind of mean mugging me. So, we got this thing, and I don't know if this is comedic narcissism or ego, but if I'm performing in front of 300 people and 299 are dying, I'm focused on the one that's not. Like, what am I doing wrong that I can't get you?
Right.
So she was mean mugging me. I kind of fucked with her. At one point, I called her a bitch. And I turned my head to the right, and before I knew it, wow.
Damn.
Shit hit me with a plastic Heinz ketchup bottle. And I was like, oh, shit. So they got her out of there, and then I could feel my face swelling up. I could feel it. And I said to the crowd, hey, yo, my shit's swelling up. They was like, yeah. But, I had to go on with the show. So I made some corny little joke, but it was right in the heat of the moment where I said something. I was like, you guys didn't get that? Come on, man. Y'all got to catch up. So, I knew how to take a moment and make it work for me. But yeah, man, sometimes people feel like if you in comedy and ain't nobody trying to fuck you up, you ain't doing it right. Yeah.
Low key, you lucky it wasn't a glass motherfucking bottle still to catch up. You know what I mean? You was in Connecticut. It could have been one of them old spots with the glass bottle.
In that same club, I had a drunk dude who was with his chick, and they were both drunk, and they were thrown out. But a black lady told me, she was like, yo, dude pulled it out a knife. He was going to try to stab you after the show.
Damn.
That's when you know you're a great comedian. When they want to attack you.
So
you get niggas wanting to OJ you.
Here's my question with you. I forgot what the beef was with you and that cat Faison, but he said some shit like, it isn't comedy if you hurt people. And on the flip side, I think you said, it isn't comedy unless somebody wants to hurt you.
Listen,
so speaking on...
I'm a be as mature and as what they call that when you take the higher. I'm gonna be a higher road guy because I've already gone through this with Faison. I don't know what Faison's beef was, and the crazy thing is, like I said on Vlad, I never had a beef with Faison ever. Matter of fact, every time I saw him, it was very respectful and cordial. Yo, Faison, what up, dog? Hey, Aries, what up? Boom, and kept it moving. So I don't know what made him feel the need to start talking shit about me. But the thing that bothered me the most was fuck all that other shit is when he goes, yeah, Aries was basically a young kid that came out to LA, supposed to be the next Eddie Murphy. It didn't pan out for him, and it didn't work out, and all he does is impressions.
That's not true.
Like, and this is again where I pride myself. I'm a Jordan fan. I'm an Eddie Murphy fan.
Do it all.
They do it all. So it's like, dude, to just think that if I'm a basketball player, all I can do is dunk, nigga, you crazy. The crowd work, political humor, singing, rapping, impressions, storytelling. Like, come on, B. Don't do that.
Yeah. The one thing I will say that every time, you're probably one of the best people, and probably another guy who's the guy who did Elephant in the Room? I can't remember his name.
Patrice O'Neal.
So you really remind me
and
of
that's
Patrice.
A compliment like a motherfucker.
You really, because I've never seen people like Patrice and yourself do tough comedy and make that, like tough situations and make that shit still funny as a motherfucker. Like, you guys were probably the best at it.
Let me tell you something.
Because Patrice did extremely tough material, and you do too.
Listen, Patrice's HBO special, The Half Hour, I don't know if you ever saw it.
I think it's Elephant in the Room, right?
No, that was his hour special on Comedy Central. But he had an HBO half hour. He did two jokes. One, he was talking about the Mike Tyson rape case with Desiree Washington.
Okay.
And he goes, Mike said some shit in the interview where he said, man, I wish I would have raped that bitch and her mama. He goes, yo, that is an innocent man.
Absolutely.
For a nigga to say some shit like that. And he goes, and what threw me off was at first she was like, he made me, he forced oral sex. And I was like, damn, he made you suck his dick? That's fucked up.
That's crazy.
But then she goes, no, he ate her pussy. And I go, that's when I knew. Case dismissed. He goes, what rapist tries to make you feel wonderful? Like, shut up, bitch. Nobody hear your screams. Shut up as I pull your hood back to expose your clitoris for maximum stimulation. Please, shut up, bitch. Nobody hear you cry. He goes, you can't even make a rapey face eating pussy. So it was that bit, and he did another bit where he said, ladies, let me ask you a question. Let's say you got in a terrible train accident, and the doctor said, you've been in a terrible train accident, we got to remove your pussy. What do you do past the 2-month mark for your man not to leave you, for you to keep him if you ain't got no pussy? And it was quiet. And then he goes, you yell out. Lady yelled out, mouth. Oh, he said, okay, blowjob. Anal. Okay, asshole. Jerk him off. Okay, this. He goes, now you see what just happened? I gave all y'all the opportunity to better yourselves, and you just reduced yourself to a series of holes. Nobody said play pool, learn how to play Xbox, bring another bitch with a pussy into the relationship. So to your point, when people go, yo, greatest comedian, I go, when I talk about my Mount Rushmore, I don't say, listen, the Mount Olympus, the gods,
right?
Eddie Murphy, Richard Pryor, Red Fox. But if we're going to keep it to the Mount Rushmore, I go Dave Chappelle, Patrice O'Neal, Tommy Davidson, and Bill Burr.
Wow, nobody mentions Tommy Davidson. But Tommy was fucking funny as hell.
Tommy's an animal.
Does he still do? Well, I know he had a drug situation.
Yeah,
right?
he did. But what I, the funny thing is, when I worked with him at the Improv, one night he's about to go up, and I mean, he's just in the hallway pacing like a lion. And then when I've worked with him on the road, same thing. For somebody that has been around and been in the game that long with that type of still hunger and ferociousness in his eye, that's
he's
crazy.
Hilarious.
That's crazy.
Tommy Davidson is a beast.
To quote, Dave Chappelle, Patrice O'Neal, George Carlin, when it comes to pushing the envelope, 3 of the greatest comedic quotes I've ever heard. Dave Chappelle goes, you don't know where the line is in comedy until you cross it.
Right.
And then Carlin goes, you should know where the line is in comedy and deliberately cross it. And then Patrice goes, good comedy leaves the audience 50% laughing, the other 50% horrified. that to me is, I live by that credo. You know what I mean? Yeah.
So I'm sure you met Dave Chappelle.
Yeah.
How did that go? Because we always try to get a great Dave Chappelle's moment.
My favorite moment actually is in my phone. I was performing in I don't know if it was Dayton, and I think Dave lives somewhere in the Ohio area, not too far from there. And I was performing, and manager said, "Yo, Dave on his way up." Okay, so Dave comes up. He has like this bottle of, I don't know if it was wine or some sort of drink in a specific case. And, it had a little weed and shit.
Right.
So at first, he comes up. I'm like, yo, Dave, man, can I get a picture with you? He's like, man, I don't really feel like taking pictures tonight. And I was like, whatever, nigga. I don't do a great Dave. I'm just kind of. So it was like, all right, cool. But then the night went on. He got loose. He eventually said to me, hey, man, I just want to say the impressions you do, man. When I heard you do so-and-so, shit's amazing, nigga. So then by that time, I said, let me retest the waters. Dave, let's do it, man. And me and him took a picture together, and it was like, oh, my God, nigga. And I remember I posted that pic, and, people was like, two goats. And listen, man, out of as a New Yorker, as an Aries, as an alpha male, I'm as confident as they come. But I also get scared of being overly confident because that's when God shows you his sense of humor. Yeah. So as many people that'll come up to me on the streets and will say to me in social media, yo, you a GOAT. Yo, you a legend. And I hear them two things on. I'll never take the reins on that. I'll never say that's what I am. If you want to say that and you want to claim that, go ahead. But the fact that you got Dave, who clearly is a GOAT, in a picture with me, and people are saying that, that's a prideful moment for me, man.
There's a top 50 comedy team. You're not on it?
Oh, absolutely, I'm on it. Nigga, I'm in the starting 5.
Starting 5? Okay.
If you put a dream team together, I'm in the starting 5. Come on, man.
I am about to rock your world.
Babe, you know you can't handle all of this without your sword.
I swear this never happens.
I guess I'll just text Lancelot. He never has this problem.
No, I am King Arthur. I was worthy of Excalibur, and I'm worthy of sword vitality.
Now that is a sword fit for a king. But do you know how to use it? Become a better man with sword vitality.
All right, let's go back to MadTV for a second because I wanted to get to this skit that I thought was probably one of the funniest fucking skits I've ever seen in my life when you played DMX's mom.
Yeah.
That shit was so goddamn fucking funny. What was it like working with DMX, obviously, and like... you do DMX impressions, obviously, too, but...
they were going back and forth.
The first time I met X, I had already heard the song Money, Power, Respect. And I just remember it was such a great track. I mean, the whole thing was hard. Then you get to DMX's part. And when I heard that, I was like, yo, who the fuck is that? Because the voice, the gravel, the energy, I never heard nothing like that before. We never heard nothing like that before. So I remember I was at a club in LA, and I hadn't seen X's face. I just knew the voice. So I forget, there was some band up, rap group, who was up, and they was like, yo, we got a special guest here tonight. Yo, he gonna rock for y'all, something DMX. And they played a track. And then your head's starting to ride, hell is hot, because I'm heading down, baby. It's going down, baby. Get the full pound, baby. And I'm like, oh, that's that nigga. So he comes off stage, and I'm like, and X is one of the coolest, most humble niggas ever. So I'm like, yo, man, I just want to take Bob, nigga, your song. You did all great. And he goes, yo, Doug, you really like it? I said, yeah. He said, good. Give me a drink, nigga. So I went to the bar, got a drink.
Now, I know you love me. Okay, no, go on.
Cut to, we get ready to do the skit. He's about 40 minutes late.
Not a professional.
Right, we're all waiting. All of a sudden, 5 SUVs pull into the studio. This nigga get out blowing. Yo, dog, what up? So, and you know, all the black dudes at the studio are all huddled around because, you know, this is a moment for us. X is coming. So this nigga gets out. Yo, you want to smoke? You want to smoke? Everybody's working. So we all go, nah, we cool. And that nigga asks me, yo, dog, you want to smoke? I said, no, I'm working. He goes, all right, fuck it. More for me. and smoke. So but then we shot the skit. He was cool, man. X was a crazy boy.
Man.
Well, I was just going to say, because I know you into music too, top 5 rappers. Why we just talking about music? Your top 5.
Jay-Z, Nas, Biggie, Jada, and Eminem.
Damn, so most of them niggas was from New York.
West Coast, huh?
Yeah, just completely.
So fuck the West Coast, huh?
Listen, I'm not.
He got the New York hat. He represented.
And I know, and usually I got my Timbs on. I'm not saying fuck the West Coast, but like Jay-Z said, New York, home of the spitters. New York is MCs. We spitters, man. New York, the 5 that I name me dudes who out-rap them. Lyrically, who are better than them. Now, this is the part where, when this airs, the comment section gonna be flooded with this person.
Right.
But come on, man. Biggie, Jada, Nas, Hove.
Man, he got 2 albums, though.
I know.
He was stopped short.
Yeah, but you didn't need to have 15 albums to know he was a bad boy.
No, he was a bad boy.
When you listen to them, Life After Death and which was the second one? With Life After Death was the second one. What was the first one called? Ready to Die. Just how much do you need to hear to know how incredible he was?
How do you feel about Eminem? Because I know you made him number 5.
Hold on, before you go on
to
that, I would just love to say that both of your lists had a nice white guy rounded out at number 5, Bill Burr and Eminem, and I can appreciate
you gotta
that.
have a Larry Bird. Every team's gotta have a Larry Bird. But no, I mean, listen, man. You listen. Anybody that tries to deny Eminem's lyrical potency, you hating. He's a beast. He's a fucking beast.
So the game is continuously hating because I feel like the game hates Eminem more
the
than
game's
anyone.
out of his mind.
He
no,
always talking shit about Eminem.
What is this?
And the game is nice.
Black people don't like white people doing black shit.
Yeah,
that's it.
That's just the reality.
That's it. And I'm one of those people too. I'll be like, yeah, I don't know. Because Eminem, I'll be like, yeah, I don't know.
But here's
I don't
Eminem.
feel it because I don't feel it. Lyrically.
Do you feel Larry Bird?
Huh? I'd be like,
Come
I don't
on.
know. No, listen, I'm not saying that he's not good.
No, he's better than good.
No, I'm not saying that he's not good. I just be like, it's the style of play. I'm unfamiliar.
Listen, I'm gonna tell you.
He didn't even like Joker because he was white.
Let me tell you
No.
something.
It wasn't because Joker was white. I was like,
Listen, sometimes
I don't know. No, I'm being honest about myself.
To your point, a lot of times, sometimes when I'm on social media and I see certain shit. Remember the movie? Did any of you ever see the movie Dragon, the Bruce Lee story?
Dragon. I ain't seen Dragon.
I've seen a lot of movies.
Check it out, man.
Baby.
I know you haven't. That sweater.
It's a sweater.
Yeah.
But before you go any further, hold on and pause on that story. Bruce Lee. This motherfucker thinks he can beat Bruce Lee up. I just want.
I told you he's 120
AD said he'll
pounds.
beat the shit out of Bruce Lee. Can
I
you
said I
believe
would
that
grab
shit?
Bruce Lee and
Nigga, you wouldn't even get close.
Exactly.
To grab.
Thank you.
To grab.
I'm like, he's gonna punch you 6 times.
Bruce Lee's like one of my girlfriends, running around at 125. I'd be like, Bruce,
No,
what are you gonna do?
As soon as you feel
do them
yourself
goddamn dishes.
trying to grip, air is gonna knock you out. But in Bruce Lee, the Bruce Lee Dragon story, there was a moment, and this also happened in real life for Bruce Lee, where some of the Asian syndicate was not liking the fact that he was teaching white people
Americans.
the culture and martial
Probably
arts.
why he was killed, but go on.
And they said to him in the movie, we don't want you to teach the Quilo. So Quilo mean white people.
Wow.
So sometimes when I'm on Instagram and I see these videos of a group of Asian people dancing to hip hop and James Brown, and I mean, they in pocket, they killing it.
No, they killing it.
But I go, this is what happens when we teach the Quilo. When we give our secrets away. Because when white people start doing something as effectively as us, sometimes the attention gets put on them more than it would us, and we're the originators.
The Justin Bieber effect.
Right. So, you know, and listen, and when you read the comments, there are so many black people like, man, quit hating, so what, so what? And yes, the beauty is the culture should be shared by all.
Absolutely.
Loved, embraced by all. My only issue with it is, again, when it's time to give residuals, pay up.
Right.
Pay to the originators, the people who created it. We often get overlooked because
Damn, that would be crazy.
Right,
You know what I mean?
If Eminem had to give royalties to like past hip hop legends.
I'm not saying he has to do that.
Pay homage to.
Homage. Pay homage.
I feel like Eminem does pay homage to.
No, he's
to
very
Grace.
respectful.
No,
Yeah.
no, extremely.
Yeah.
Extreme. But still,
I'm just saying the media and they like to run with, look, we can do what y'all do just as good or better. Like, no, we
like,
taught
it's
you.
one person.
Yeah, it's one person,
Right.
and then we taught you. So come on, man, relax.
Yeah. The thing about Eminem that I can say, like, you know, he doesn't make music that you just cruise around and jam. Like, no one, you're probably psycho if you're just jamming. Most of his songs are just. Listen to murdering your girlfriend.
Well,
and
no,
shit.
that's him being true to his white roots.
Right.
Cause y'all do shit like that.
It's like our theme fucking
He ain't all the way there. He ain't all the way there. He's still white.
Because his lyrically it's undeniable. Like you put him
Like when you
against
listen,
anyone,
when you listen,
I get
when you
that.
listen to that song,
he can murder
Renegade,
songs, but
Oh no, he killed it.
He killed it worse than
Jay-Z.
Jay-Z.
He killed it. He killed it hands down.
Yeah.
I just listened to it not too long ago because she's a Jay-Z fan. I was like, who did better?
Yeah.
She's like the premier Jay-Z fan. I'm like, who did it better?
But if you get into your car and you start just hearing the dead body drag along the fucking thing, come on, Haley.
Yeah.
And you just start listening to that crazy shit driving down the road.
But I don't think that's the majority of his music, though. You know,
Isn't it?
And listen, when as much as Eminem killed Jay on Renegade, the one line Jay-Z says, not in Renegade, but in Diamonds Are Forever, that shuts everybody down. I'm not a businessman. I'm a businessman. Done. Done. Like, you other niggas is cute to me.
Right.
He's on another level.
He's definitely thinking in advance.
Talking about people on other levels, what's your opinion on Drake? He just tied Michael Jackson on #1 hits.
I'm 48 years old. I came from the 80s. I'm a strong, dominant, heterosexual black alpha male.
So no Drake?
No Drake here.
Now,
I'm the
with
same
you
place.
saying that, you've also kissed another man on camera
Comedic-
in order to prove that rappers are gay.
It was within the context of a comedic point.
He's a true actor.
Yes.
He is a true actor.
Yes. Absolutely.
But you did it to prove a point that
Yes.
there's a lot of gay lyrics, right?
Yes.
Or some weirdo shit in rap all
Little
the
Nas
time.
X has just entered the chat. Yes. I was speaking to something that we know exists in hip hop.
Soft
Yes.
lyrics.
Yes.
Sketchy lyrics.
Moist niggas.
Now, going back to the white-black thing, I was watching some of your shit on the way over here. You said that you think white people are born with no rhythm.
Inherently, rhythm, it comes from black people. We are a rhythmic people.
Yeah.
So
white people learn.
So
white people learn rhythm.
When we traveled to the north and lost our darkness, we just lost rhythm as well.
You lost a whole lot of shit. Black people taught y'all how to bathe, man.
Thank you.
The Moors. We introduced y'all to soap, nigga.
We appreciate that.
Yeah.
We appreciate that. It was rough. Them bitches was rough before that, you
That's
know.
all good.
Hopefully you started with them.
Hey, listen. As long as we get to where we're supposed to go, that's all that counts.
Yo, man, also, something I've been mad about that the internet kind of shut us down on that I am angry with, and I don't know, you kind of had some beef with Lizzo a little bit, I feel like.
I don't know why people say it was a beef. There was no beef. I made a joke. I made a comment.
Well, for one, if there was beef, she probably would have ate it anyway.
That's hilarious.
But secondly, I don't like how...
That's your best joke you've ever said.
I'm getting better, baby.
You had to steal that. You stole that.
I steal that from.
No, you stole that shit. I don't believe you came up with that.
Hey, that just came to me. But secondly,
that's pretty good.
But secondly, he likes to think that he's the funniest dude on this show. But everybody knows, and I know you can tell from being here for just the short
You're
hour,
doing well today.
that I'm the fucking funny guy.
I can't let another white man outside my black brethren on camera. I beg to differ, sir.
So anyway, I have a problem with how it's being portrayed, like health-wise. Like, I don't care, like whatever in your mind, but that shit ain't healthy. You know you're gonna die early, Lizzo. You know what I mean? Like, that's my problem with the problem. And then we can't. I said fat on camera. We're gonna have to blank that out. And they shut the video down. There was nothing else that would have shut it down.
The video down?
YouTube.
Yeah.
Really? Because you said fat?
Yeah, we were talking. It was talking about Lizzo.
Yeah,
I called
they
her
made us
fat.
take
All this
down
other
that
shit.
clip.
No, they didn't make it. They flagged us, saying like, okay, 2 more, and we're gonna delete your channel.
Wow.
So I don't know. Like, we can't say
crazy.
fat no more.
Everybody's too fucking sensitive now.
Let me tell you something, and I'm a quote something in a joke I'm doing right now, addressing the Lizzo thing. And I go, when I read the comments, mainly it was women were upset because womanhood, sisterhood, but mainly black women. And I say black women have this mantra, they do, in regards to women like Lizzo and Lizzo. Yes, queen, yes. Slay, queen, slay, girl, your confidence. And I say that I get it. Black female unity and black female solidarity is needed, especially in this country, because this country is always going out of its way to make black women, my women, from a beauty standpoint, feel less than. America likes to use its most powerful medium, film and television, when describing the epitome of beauty in America. Code words and phrases. The girl next door, America's sweetheart. And I go, you ever notice that the girl next door and America's sweetheart is never a woman of color, especially a black woman, specifically a dark-skinned black woman? And representation in image is important because it helps to shape perception. So I find it ironic that this country is going out of its way to ridicule black women, my women, for their facial and physical features. The same facial and physical features that a lot of non-black women are purchasing today. So I get it.
Talk about it.
Yes, queen, yes. Slay, queen, slay. But I also go, black women, you got to be careful with that because there's a dual responsibility that comes with that. While your celebration in regards to Lizzo's confidence is admirable and commendable, your silence in regards to the truth is fucking dangerous. Because you won't talk about type 2 diabetes, hypertension, high blood pressure, high cholesterol, and I suffer from all of that shit. I'm on metformin, losartan, amlodipine, atorvastatin. So I know about that shit. And I go, but the crazy thing is, and this is where God's sense of humor with my fatness has come into play. Most people that are fat, they're like fat everywhere. I don't really have fat face. I don't have fat arms. My legs are really skinny and small. All my fat is right here. So if you saw me on the toilet butt naked, I look like Kermit the Frog taking a shit.
Probably stress.
So
you gotta get that stress out your life, man.
Well,
that cortisol level comes all right down into the gut.
But point being, like, I get it. I understand where it comes from. But my point with Lizzo, yes, I made the joke, but I was also speaking to, and I see so many black women on social media with that mantra. And I'm going, if it's really about sisterhood, and it's really about the love that you profess for one another, wouldn't you be like, baby, we love your confidence, but
let's go to the gym, bitch.
Yeah, yo. And y'all don't ever do that.
Right.
But the minute somebody says something, oh, black men don't like black women. And that's another one that killed me. I love my sisters. I love my beautiful black women. I'm black, which means I'm an ass man. I like ass, I like thighs, I like voluptuous, I like lips, hips. So, yeah, I love my sisters. But whenever a black woman is challenged at all, just say you hate black women. Really, bitch?
Yeah.
We going to that extreme? I hate black women. My mother's black. My sister's black.
Right.
I got 2 black daughters. One half black, half Puerto Rican, and the other one fully black.
Right.
How the fuck am I hate black women?
Right.
Like, give me a fucking break. Listen, I have contemplated, because of how my career has been, I went, you know what? Maybe I should move to Europe. Start doing films out there. But then I go, sisters in Europe.
Right.
Ain't no fried chicken. Ain't no, I got to have thigh. I got to have ass.
Right.
And I can't be in a place where it's just every woman ass flat as notebook paper.
So you think all black men just love voluptuous ass and stuff like that?
Listen,
That's your theme?
There's no all to anything.
Okay.
There are
Because
exceptions
this
to the
dude
rules. But like I told
doesn't
Vlad,
like him over 140.
let me tell you something. Like I told Vlad, white tigers exist. But that's not the norm.
This guy's a white tiger.
That's all right.
140?
I
Out the door.
I tap out.
That's all right, though.
I tap out.
He's an albino gorilla. We know he's in the wild, but you're not going to see a lot of him.
I'll be like, 140, I'll be like,
So I also saw that you got some credits for playing doing these celebrity voices on different things like Family Guy or American Dad and shit. Whose voice has made you the most bread?
I mean, consistently, what I'm on consistently is Proud Family as Wizard Kelly. So I've been doing that for a minute. You know, the Family Guys and American Dads and the Boondocks, they've kind of come sporadically.
You are a voice on Boondocks.
I did maybe 1 or 2 episodes, but not. But mainly Family Guy, not Family Guy, Proud Family.
Did you ever do Bill Burr's fucking show? Because that shit's hilarious.
No, I haven't
Yo,
had
that
the pleasure. Yeah.
I think that shit's one of the funniest.
Yeah.
And maybe because that's like my childhood.
Yeah.
Like his fucking show is like he's my dad type of shit. But like
Bill Burr?
Yeah, the character though specifically in this fucking
it's a
like
funny
animated. Like to the point of that stupid ass bull painting.
Yeah.
I had that painting in my house, but it was like this fuzzy, weird, like fuzzy, furry 80s painting. But besides that, what else we got to talk about in here? Let's talk about we think about Jada Pinkett Smith.
Yeah.
What's going on with this bitch? Just dragging Will.
I don't even understand
all over
this.
hell.
It doesn't even make any sense. I've never
She's
seen
trying to
anything
sell a
like,
book.
Listen, man.
Is that what she's
Yeah, right now she's trying to sell her book.
I don't give a fuck what she's selling her soul.
Yeah, this shit is terrible.
And this is something that I just talked about this on my podcast. This boggles my mind because I'm sitting here going, in some of my loneliest moments in terms of dreaming, I went, whose career would be better to have than Will Smith? Especially if you could physically fit the part. 6 feet tall, in shape. He's the desire and the want of pretty much every woman, regardless of race. He's the envy of every guy. You famous, you rich, you got it all, mansions, cars. You need for nothing. You're one of the A-list motherfuckers. And you mean to tell me you are going through this? You are, and what's Dr. Umar both Dr. Umar Johnson and comedian T.K. Kirkland mentioned this, and I had been saying this about Jada. Even back when I did 2 episodes of A Different World, I always thought Jada was gorgeous in the face. The face is mwah.
Right.
But flat ass,
Yeah.
little skinny legs, no titties. She's built like a teenage boy. And I just went, obviously beauty is in the eye of the beholder, to each his own. I just went, what the fuck does Will, he really likes?
Boys?
That's what he likes.
Right.
That's what he likes. But I'm just going, again, I like a voluptuous woman.
Mm-hmm.
I like titties, ass, thighs. I like shit to wobble when it walks. And I'm just going, I never saw the attraction to her. But even if he had the woman that I think is ideal. Your man is Will Smith. And this is what you're doing? And what's even wilder than that is, and I know this might sound fucked up and cruel, but I can't see how it's not honest. You know, when A Different World ended, who went on to do much of anything else? I know Cree Summers has always been a huge voiceover.
I don't think anybody from that show really went off and did anything.
He gave her a second life.
Oh,
Because she married a human lotto ticket. She had that TV show she did on TNT called Hawthorne, where she played a doctor.
Right.
That eventually got canceled. Then she tried her experiment as a heavy metal.
That didn't go well.
That didn't go well.
Right.
And then whatever little things she's done here and there, she was in The Matrix. I know that's Will's influence. I know that's his cachet and his power. So this man, not only did you strike gold with one of the biggest niggas in the game, but he gave you afterlife.
He definitely made her more relevant.
That's
for sure.
crazy.
Did you see Will's response though? He never drags this bitch. He said it opened his eyes.
Listen,
now
man.
he's more like,
You know what's
he
crazy?
says you just go through a relationship and now he sees his what, like he's like loving her more.
You know what's
the more
crazy?
he
You know
drags
what's crazy?
her.
And I hate to attach him to this word, but when you look on social media, the word that a lot of men are using in regards to him is simp. And I want to go, I don't want to associate him with that word. But when you look at the evidence between him being on The Breakfast Club and saying when Charlamagne asked him, are you threatened? Were you ever threatened by her relationship with Tupac? And he goes, fuck yeah.
Yeah.
And then you cut to the Chris Rock slap. Then you cut to Tommy Davidson was recently on Shannon Sharp's podcast, Club Shay Shay. And he tells the story of when he's doing the movie Woo with Jada. And they have a love scene. She's his love interest. And they kiss. Will comes to the set, goes into the makeup trailer. Tommy's sitting down. And you know, Tommy's 4'8". All skin and bones.
Right.
Will is 6 feet, girthy. You know, a big dude. He says, Will's standing over him like, hey, man, what's up with that shit? I'm kissing Jada. And Tommy, because, you know, no man wants to be a punk. Even though he knows there's a vast weight height difference, he gets up and was like, what's up, man? Like trying to hold his own. But Will kill this nigga. But the mere fact that it's like, dude, Will, you're in the industry. You know love scenes and kiss scenes happen. You've done them. And now you mad and you barking at little Tommy Davidson because you can't handle your wife in a make pretend moment. So when you do the math on that with Tupac, Chris, Tommy,
maybe Will held her back from being that jealous dude, and he was showing up to shit, and that's why she didn't get jobs.
I don't
think so.
I don't know. I don't think so.
I don't think so either. I'm just throwing it out there.
saying that. So now when you use that word simp, you go, oh, the evidence though. Like, come on, man.
Now, what about
and I know how powerful and crippling pussy can be.
What about the rumors that he's gay? What if he just been covering, like, you know, or if he's whatever?
I can't speak to that because I don't know. I just don't know. And those rumors are, I can't see. Those rumors float around with everybody.
Yeah. No, they don't.
They're damn near.
No, they don't. Me and you both know that. We ain't heard a rumor about you. We ain't heard a rumor about Denzel.
No, we haven't.
We ain't heard a rumor about Michael Jordan.
But what dudes will do is like that skit that I did where I kissed the dude. Oh, nigga, you.
I be like, you don't know that nigga. That nigga's all man.
Well, first of all,
there's
there's no shame in my game in that moment because, again, what I was doing it for, contextually, comedically, served a purpose.
Right.
It wasn't like I was doing some scene where, you know, I'm playing with a dog and then I just randomly kiss a nigga. Which you would go, where did that come from? No, there was a whole point to the moment. But yeah, man, and listen, man, to each his own. Do what you want to do. Be happy. Know what I mean, Sweater?
Thank you.
But I'm a pussy man, yo. I love pussy. And to me, if it came in a fragrance, I'd wear it.
Yeah.
So the thing, I know we just kind of jumped over the thing where Will Smith slaps Chris. What did you think in that moment? I'm curious. Another comedian being attacked.
What I saw recently, and Jada mentioned this in her interview, she said apparently when her and Will were going through divorce rumors, Chris was hitting on her. He was trying to get with her.
Oh.
So maybe I went, well, that's maybe where that slap came from. Will knew that and had resentment towards him for that. So the joke was just extras.
Right.
But, that was the heartbeat of what that was. But even still, I just thought it was a black eye for the black community.
For sure.
Given everything that was encapsulated in that moment. The Oscars for the first time being produced by Will Packer, all black production company. And Will Packer is huge, guy, but he's behind Girls Trip, Ride Along, Kevin, Ice Cube. Then you had a historic moment where you had 2 of the 3 hosts were black females. Wanda Sykes, I forget my girl's name, the one that hosted with her. It was her, Wanda Sykes, Regina Hall.
Okay.
And Amy Schumer. So then you had that. Then you had Sam Jackson getting an award, which was long overdue, by none other than the best black actor in the game, Denzel Washington. So, and then Will wins his award. So it just was a black eye on a moment that should have been huge for us. You know what I mean? And if listen, I respect the fact that Chris didn't retaliate. Because if he did, come on.
Them fighting on stage, scrambling on the ground.
You see?
Would have been
That's
fucking
why we can't give niggas numbers. You see what they do? You see how they are?
Yeah.
So to not perpetuate the stigma.
Right.
He did the bigger, better
He
thing.
took it like a man.
He seems as though he attacks smaller people from the 2 stories.
This is why I'm saying simp shit. Pussy got you so fucked up that not only are you just breaking man code, but you attacking dudes half your size, man. Like,
speaking of people attacking people, did you guys hear about 6ix9ine Tekashi getting arrested in fucking Dominican Republic for beating up some producers that were hanging out with his girlfriend?
No, but I hope he never gets out. He's such an embarrassment to mankind.
Embarrassment to New York.
They said the prisoners were waiting to see him and shit in the jail. Like, I don't know what. Nobody's
He might not make it back.
No, did you see when he got beat up in 24-hour fitness or something like that?
Yeah.
Yeah, they just...
Yeah, but you can't talk that much shit and not think karma.
Eventually, you're going to get an ass.
Yeah, karma's in your rearview mirror, nigga.
For sure.
Come on, man.
Well, Britney's coming out with a new Britney Spears. You see this? She got a book coming out. She said Justin Timberlake got her pregnant and they both agreed to have an abortion in said book. This book is going to be crazy. No,
I won't know because I won't read it.
That's what I'm saying. I mean, those antics on the internet, I'm like, somebody needs to sit her down.
Yeah.
And take her phone. They need to take her phone. Take Britney's phone.
This game is poisonous, man.
Take her phone.
This game will fuck you up, yo, if you don't have your head.
How did you stay sane?
Yeah, I was gonna say
How did you stay grounded?
You were pretty young in Hollywood.
Yeah, you've been there the whole time.
That was like at the peak of its like, we're gonna hide all this weird shit.
Were you
How'd
ever
that go
invited
for
to
you?
a sex party or anything?
Me and Vodka have been close for a long time. So, I don't know too many people that make it through this shit sober, man.
He asked you one question today, and it was if you ever went to a sex party in Hollywood. This is the best thing.
It's the sweater. It's the sweater.
I'm embracing the sweater now.
Yeah, I'm just trying to figure out how to navigate my way through this. Where I don't have to be codependent on certain things just to get out of bed. You know what I mean? Because this business is a bitch.
It just drives you crazy?
It drives you crazy. It tests your sanity. It tests your moral compass and everything that you believe in. So I'm almost... I don't ever want to associate the word quitting, with what I do. Because I think once you quit, you've truly failed. But I'm thinking about exit strategies, man. I'm thinking about packing a parachute, an exit plan, because I just don't know how much longer I want to keep having to go through what I'm going through to get to where I want to be. So,
now, as far as like the Me Too movement, a lot of women, a lot of men were facing some weird shit. What was your weirdest shit trying to get a role? If you even
trying
had
to get
one?
a role?
I mean, a role on a movie, a TV show, and they said something weird to you where he's like, I don't know about this show.
No, I haven't had that.
Good.
But I think that's because I've been locked out long before the Me Too movement.
I always wonder though too is like you might not have had that situation because you don't put off that like I'm pretty sure that they can tell or something. Like, you know, like some of these actors might be.
My biggest attribute is also my biggest detriment. My mouth. You know what I mean? Because I'm like Charles Barkley, man. I say what I want and what I feel. And, you know, my manager used to say to me, you want to be rich or you want to be right? Because very seldom can you be both. And I'm right a lot, which is why I'm not as rich as I should be. So, yeah, I would like to be able to be who I am and stand on my own moral ground and believe that everything will work out. And I truly believe that because that's all I got. But I'm asking the devil, man, what's the going rate on the soul, B?
So now, I mean, in today's shit, with everything going on and streaming and everything, like a million different ways for you to pick up these cameras.
There is, but don't
make your own skit show or some shit.
Don't ever get it twisted. The biggest and best route, the biggest and quickest route is the Hollywood route.
Right.
You know what I mean? I mean, you could work with half a dozen up and coming unknown directors, and then you can work with Steven Spielberg.
Nah, but I feel like at this point you could put your own shit out.
And I'm trying to do that. I'm trying to do that, but that path is so much more exhausting.
Oh, definitely exhausting. But I don't think everyone has the cachet to do that. But you, I think, could easily do that.
Nothing easy about none of this.
Nothing?
Nothing.
Turn on the camera?
It's more than that. It's so much more than that.
Okay.
You know,
you can have my beef joke. You can take that.
I'd rather wear the sweater.
That's gonna be your first.
I'd rather wear the sweater.
If you wear a sweater on stage next time you go on, that'll be hilarious. So, I saw a dude dressed like this.
Like, you know, the limelight entertainment business over 20 years. Is it still the same? Has it changed? Like, what have you noticed?
I mean, you know, it's changed in terms of what you can't be as risque as you would like to be unless you're willing to deal with the consequences and the possible repercussions that come with that. But, you know, listen, when it's good, there's just nothing like this when it's good to you. But when it's not, it's not. You know, Chris Rock had a great quote one time where he goes, the worst job in Hollywood is better than the best job out of it. Now, I don't necessarily know that I agree with that wholeheartedly, because I said the one thing I would never want to do is play the Nickelodeon dad. You know, the paycheck might be sweet. You got the airtime, but those jokes are jokes.
Right.
And they're catered to that child demographic. And my comedy, like what you said, Patrice, I'm uncut cocaine, nigga.
Right.
100% Bolivian yayo. You know, so for me to go from that to... honey and dear and darling, that would kill my spirit. Yeah, I might be paid. Yeah, I might have a nice house. Yeah, I might never need for nothing. But my spirit's dead. Having to play that guy.
That's tough.
You know?
Damn. Well, we went over your top 5 comedians, but what about comedic actors?
Eddie Murphy's still gonna be at the top.
No, but Eddie's up there because he does everything, like we said. But sometimes it's different. You're not as funny on stage as you are on.
Sometimes one doesn't necessarily automatically translate into the other.
Like Jim Carrey,
but
amazing comedic actor. His stand-up's like, all right.
But he did stand up in his early days.
Right.
Once he blew up, he kind of was done. That's like Eddie Murphy in his early days, delirious, raw. But Eddie ain't done stand up since Raw.
Yeah.
Eddie Murphy. I love Martin Lawrence in movies. Yeah. His stand-up don't do it for me. But in movies,
that's true.
Martin knows how to score. Jason Bateman is a beast because he can do both. Funny. He can play the straight guy and be funny and be the funny guy and be funny. It's hard for a lot of comedians because of ego to be the straight man and be funny, a la Sidney Poitier in any of the Bill Cosby flicks. Vince Vaughn. Love Vince Vaughn, man. Some of his reactions to shit are priceless. And then I'd probably say Mike Epps. Mike Epps is another one. In movies,
He's
Mike's
hilarious.
a beast.
Yeah.
He knows how to make a moment.
Now, I've been to a show.
Yeah.
That was tough.
Yeah, you know.
It's tough. No, I mean, it was in Vegas. I was there. It wasn't the same guy. I thought it was different. I was like, because I'm expecting to laugh out my seat. It just didn't happen. But sometimes people have a bad day.
Yeah.
The one thing you said you had a podcast?
Yes, Spears and Steinberg, available on all streaming platforms. Or I always tell people, hit me up on Instagram, slide in my DMs, and I'll send you the link, chop it up with you. Also, YouTube channel, Spearsberg Pod. Subscribe there as well. I always suggest to people, even though I know we like at 500-something episodes, start from the beginning. And because it really, in terms of callbacks, jokes, the development of characters, you really can. I think it services you better comedically when you know what's happening from day one versus jumping in right now. Certain callbacks, certain characters is gonna go right over your head. So to really embrace it, start from the beginning and treat it like masturbation and potato chips. You don't just do one. You keep going.
All right, y'all. Thank you for tuning in for another episode with the legendary Aries Spears.
Aries, baby.
Aries.
I did that one on purpose. Have a good day, y'all.
Yeah.
The following program is rated TV MALS. It contains strong language and sexual situation.
Oh my God. I cannot. Like, last night was insane. So when I tell you he almost broke the bed. Hang on. So he started using this cream called Sword Vitality, and it's changed everything. You should definitely tell your man to get some. It actually works. Oh yeah.
Sword Vitality, the ultimate male enhancer.